Hi Stampin' friends, tonight we're going to use the Jungle Pals stamp set and dies. It has these 5 cute little animals, and it also has dies for cutting out trees and hanging vines and all kinds of different types of foliage to go with your to create a little scene for your animals. I'm also going to be using on page 47 the mini alphabet dies, they're called. And they are a lot of fun, and I think they're great with this. This doesn't actually have any words with it. So you can think of like a lot of things to use with it, but maybe you want some unusual things. So it's perfect for that. Plan your cards by just kind of making a whole bunch of different cutouts. I stamped our little alligator in 3 different colors of green. I also stamped everything in white just to kind of plan. And then all you kind of need to do is just put a little white craft ink on his teeth just to kind of make them stand out. And when I did this, I did not even like try. I just kind of got a little tiny dot in the general area of his teeth. And I think it looks really cute that way. And you can try harder if you want, but I'm just using an old, basically worn out blender pen. And so I'm just getting where I had dropped this in the lid of the white craft, and I'm just dotting it on his teeth. And you would be surprised at the contrast. I'll try to hold it up and see if you can see. I'm going to put a little more on this one. The darker the green, the better the contrast, but I kind of wanted to use lighter colors. This is our Granny Apple Green. I don't know if you can see his, I may not have enough light here in our photo, but he has his little teeth colored white. Then also, kind of by the same token, I stamped these tigers in black on orange, which is our pumpkin pie. And then I was kind of doing the same thing, just to put a little bit around. There's typically white around their eyes and nose, and maybe a little bit on their ears. So in this case, I'm just kind of glopping it on there. And then when you like kind of generally how it looks, then you can kind of just wipe it off with a Q-tip or some kind of absorbent sponge, or even a Kleenex or something. Because typically they have quite a lot of white down on their fronts like this. So I'm not refilling much on the end of the blender pen. I'm just kind of smearing it around a little. I hope I'm even getting this where you can see, but I'm just basically adding color here and there. And so there you can see I've just added a little bit of white to give it a slightly, like you've spent a little more time on it. You can also put a little white in the general direction of the tail, or just anywhere under his underbelly, places that you want to give kind of some emphasis, and it will just kind of make it cuter. There you can see where I did his underbelly. So super easy there, kind of an easy kind of thing. So anyway, that's just ideas of things. You know, you can do the same thing with the sloth or the little lemur. They have I don't want to take all your time showing you just my coloring, but they have some white on their tails and a little on their faces. So you can do basically the same thing with the lemur also. Now these are 2 different SaleABration choices. So the stamp set is a $50 SaleABration choice, and then the dies that cut them out and that make the little scene are a $100 SaleABration choice. So that kind of can become a little bit much, but it's also sometimes if you're stocking up on paper, or maybe you use your you buy your paper pumpkin refill as a 12-month subscription, well then, you know, they're $200. So by the time you spend that money, you're going to get 4 choices at $50, or you're going to get, you know, 2 choices at $100, that kind of situation. So, you know, it can be, if you use this as a time that to restock things, it can create a useful thing where you can easily get these. Okay, while you are watching, I am going to color our little toucan. I'm going to make his bill pumpkin pie and daffodil delight. And then I'm going to add some other colors just to kind of bring out kind of his little look. I want him to have some black. So I'm going to do his body here. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. I didn't grab the darker. I want the dark smoky slate. I grabbed the light smoky slate. Just go down his body like that. They're typically kind of black, but I wanted to use the lighter color so you could kind of see better what he looked like here. That will work. Color his body there. And you can make his body yellow, you could make it pink or any variety of colors. I'm going to use some, I may be sorry here the colors that I choose, but it'll be fun looking anyway. I want to have some pink on him because I'm going to use a pink card base. So I want it to be kind of cutesy. I'll do a feather, one of his little feathers there in pink, and maybe one of his little tops there. Not exactly a realistic toucan. I like to do realistic a lot of times because it's so fun, but this one, I'm just kind of being a little bit whimsical, I guess you could say. Try the light daffodil delight. Decide if I like that. Where I would maybe color his mouth. Oh, I missed a wing there. I don't want to do that. Like that. I could have also used, I've noticed a lot of pictures, they throw in a little bit of aqua blue, so I could have done that as well. I could leave his little belly completely white, but I think I'm going to try a little bit of green here. Light lemon lime twist. I think that's what I'm going to go with. And it will make him really whimsical because I've not seen any green birds quite like him, but it's kind of fun. And I wanted to be sure and use plenty of pink on him. So I think I got enough pink. All right, so I'm just going to, if it won't bother you too much, I'm just going to kind of stop here and just leave these things sitting and get onto my little toucan. So I was imagining having a hot pink card base. I used the Coastal Cabana, and then add, this is how it cuts out. It just kind of leaves it where you can make it as tall or as short as you want, and you can cut it yourself and put the little branches on here. So you can put your little toucan like that on your branches. So the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of trim up my branches. I think I'm going to go ahead and run my tape along here, down one side. It might have been better if I had used now you can do yours on either side. They kind of are going up nicer if you put this on the side. If you put it on this side, I kind of feel like it might look a little more balanced. So let's see. I'm going to put it here, a little taller. You can cut one of these off if you want, then you won't have quite so much, but it kind of provides like a base where it would make sense for you to be doing your hanging branches. Okay, so there's that one. Whoops. And then this one. Several of these could have a tree or not, but to me the toucan really needs a tree. Okay, So there, all I've done is put this. Now, at this point, I feel like you could use this with a variety of other stamp sets as well. It could be in a winter scene, you could do it white as if it's snowy. So there could be a lot of uses outside of just using it with this stamp set. Okay, so I was imagining here, kind of putting him here, but let me get some of this. I'm not going to stick all of this down because I want to have enough. I have a fun fold for you later that I want to be able to use it with. So I'm just going to go ahead and do, I did so many colors of green because I wanted to kind of show off the variety of green. And then you can do your little hanging vines and down like this. Some in the light and some in the dark. Maybe do it like that. And then this is not all. There's also this, whoopsie, there's also some leaves that are like this. So you can use those to fill space as well. Like that. And I know you guys can do this for yourself. I just kind of like to show it. So let me turn it around. You can see better when I've done. Okay, so then I would just put my little toucan on there. Then I would want to add my sentiment. And it is huge, but I think it's super fun because I'm gonna have to lay these out. You can look up a variety of things on the internet, like toucan Valentine, things like that. So once you get this kind of settled, you could put toucan, and of course I would use my Mono Multi green cap liquid glue. So toucan, and then B. I know you've already guessed this, but be mine. So I've got it kind of wonky now, but toucan be mine is super fun. And then you could put this on the front if you wanted to, the little Happy Valentine's Day, or you could put it inside. Now what I did here was, this is the Happy Valentine's Day from the Be Mine stamp set with BEE with the bees in it. And then I cut it out with the heart shape from the cute little hot air balloons. I think they're called hot air bundle. And so that's the heart I used to cut that out. So I think this just looks like a party. That's kind of what I really liked about this. You know, at first you're kind of thinking it's a little bit childish, but to me, it just looks like a lot of fun. So that's that one. And then I wanted to talk about using basically the same thing and a gator. And then let's grab a couple of these guys around the bottom. That's not going to be the color I want for sure. It's the same color as my little alligator. But creating a little thing, I've seen people have the little tiger kind of creeping through the brush, which I mean he would, but I kind of think it's a little bit creepy. Another thing that's kind of creepy is when people have the alligator sitting under the little dangling lemurs and sloths. I'm kind of like, oh, that gives me a tiny bit of pause. I don't mean to make fun, but it's kind of like, oh, that kind of looks a little scary. So anyway, you can do Later Gator, which I think, now this one I do think is a childish kind of a look. And you can make yourself a little swamp, which what I was trying to do here was, you know, like here he is, he's in, you know, there's water, there's plants, you know, he could be down, I didn't do this right, sorry. He could be down in the water, like he's, you know, just coming up onto land. So I think that doing later gator is super cute with that. And you could also, what I think would be cute with this also is to do like one of the ones that flip open, like a large card that's like a large gatefold, and you could have later gator, and then you could do after a while and put another one on the other side, which could be really funny. Anyway, so that's that possibility of an idea. And now I'm going to work on my fun fold because I'm afraid that if I don't, I will run out of the pieces that I need. Okay, I'm going to put this pieces aside, because I think I'll be able to tell you from this. I was afraid I wouldn't, but anyway. So I started out planning a double Z. So this is a short card. It's 11 inches long, and what I mean by short is long ways so that we can get it in our envelope. So of course we scored it 5.5 and at 2 3/4, just like we always do for these. You know, sometimes we make our card like this. Sometimes we make our card like this. You know, we have a lot of different ways that we can use this fold, but that's that one. Now at the same time, you want to go ahead and do the whole sheet, because then you can cut these little 1-inch pieces. And what they will do is go kind of the opposite. So like instead, you'll stick them out like this. Now what this will do is the card will still close, but then it will be attached here. So of course, I'm going to go ahead and stick these down. First, I'm going to put my Coastal Cabana on the inside. Like that. And again, if you have to have a little bit wrong about it, be sure and leave the extra or the too little on the inside, because you'll see it less. Like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick these on. Now, you'll want to think about when you put these on, you want to put your adhesive on this piece, top and bottom, and you're going to want put your adhesive on this piece, top and bottom. The others will not be adhered, obviously, because you can see that mountain fold right there. You won't want to have that, have any adhesive on it. Okay, so because I'm in the interest of time, rather than using tear tape, I am just going to use the regular Stampin' seal. But if I were doing it normally, I would just go ahead and put my tear tape on this. So just, since we're kind of just putting this together on the fly, that's what I'm gonna do. Putting it all the way to the end and as neatly along the bottom as I can. And then I'm adhering over here. And then I just want to make sure that it will close neatly. I'll do the same thing on the top. So now this is our template here. We have some back here, and what I'm going to do with these two pieces, I'm going to put this piece on the top so that I have a nice smooth base here. Now I could have put it under there, and I can still slide it under, but I was kind of thinking that maybe I would want it like this, so that I could maybe put my sentiment on there or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and this one on the inside, where there's no doubt at all what I'm going to do. All right, that one in there. And then for this one, I'm going to put it out here. So it kind of makes a little bit of, and I may change my mind on this. You may find when I post the card that I've done it a completely different way, but I hope not. I hope I like it like this. So I've got to remember to get it kind of straight here on the sides and then at the top and bottom. Okay, So now I've got it looking like this. The next thing I need to do is just plan my card. So I can put maybe this over here on the side and create that as my leaves tree branch thing on this side. Okay, so let me go ahead and I put way too much there. And I'm going to do what I did the first time, just cut it off. That. And then get it straight as I can. Ooh, I'll have my scissors sticky. That'll be a mess. I usually have some of the old craft and rubber scissors to use for when I need to do that. So there, you can see how that turned out. Okay, whoops, this got pushed down there. There we are. And these are 1 centimeter across. I didn't say that, I'm sorry. So, okay, so the next plan is to just run some pieces, and you'll want to make it, you can put a few that are the exact color of the paper that you're using, but there will be more contrast if you use lighter and darker pieces of hanging vine. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with this one, and I think I'm going to do it like that down the side. This may be a silly idea, but and I could, if I was smart, line it up on the 4 here and add my adhesive. See how much smarter that is? If you know that you only want to use 4 inches of it, line it up here at the 4 and go like that, and then you only would have 4 inches of adhesive. Oh, that's really smart. I should have thought of that before. Not made quite a mess. All right. So there's that. I'm just going to trim it at the top. So then I have room here now for a variety of little animals on my card. I can also go through here and put some sentiments. Like, I'm going to go ahead and do these so that I don't forget to do them, don't forget to show them to you. But the toucan and do it. Now, where did I lose my eye? Probably stuck to me. I have an eye, I promise. Another T. Oh, I did want to remember to tell you this. So when you do these, you're not going to have that extra T. You're going to have only 2 T's, and if I've already used it on the later, so I needed another T. So don't forget that you can tear your paper, and I'm not seeing what happened to it. I thought I tossed it this general direction. But, you know, tear your little papers into a piece about, you know, a couple inches square, and you'll end up with all you need. Two can do it is definitely a cute thing to have. Now, if you're going to put your tiger on there, I had a couple different ideas, such as, hold on just a second. And I don't know if there's a W and an M, but they looked completely reversible to me, like you could do whichever one you wanted. Okay, so I was thinking you could put roar across the top if there was a place that you don't need the hanging vines. You could put roar. And then my other plan, this is from It's Your Birthday, You Can Overreact. It is from It's a Science. That is a stamp set that is in the main catalog. And I bought it, of course, because, you know, I used to be a microbiologist before I had kids. So now I do bookkeeping. So there's a lot of things I've done. But, so I thought if you did It's Your Birthday, it would be kind of cute. So I'm going to try to find, there it is. my pumpkin pie Stampin' Right marker because I want it to be water-based so that I can color just the part I want to, just the part that says it's your birthday. And I'm sure I'm going to stamp this silly, but we'll see how well that works out. Okay. Colored that pretty well. And since it's going to have been a second, I am going to remember to go ahead and huff on it. And I'm going to stamp it here on this little dovetailed, I believe it's from that the stamp set with the Not So Sentimental. That's one from 2 years ago. The Stylish Shapes. So it has so many in it. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to try to get it right there. So anyway, kind of. It has It's Your Birthday. You could do Roar. But what I thought was perfect for this one was to do Be Wild. So I have the B, E, Be Wild. And I think that that makes it be perfect for an adult's party or anybody's party when you're saying Be Wild. So to finish this off, I would put as much of this as I can stand to cut out, frankly. Some alligators, you might put him down here, and a little lemur up there, and then our little sloth hanging on there somewhere, and then we need another toucan. Find him. I do think it's easier with the toucan. He's so colorful. I do think he does need to be done with white. So let me go ahead and color another one of him. Try to decide where I'm gonna, how exactly I'm gonna color him. Lots of choices there. And some, try a darker, maybe. Oh, that's the old one. I think I'm going to throw that out because it is really bad. I keep them as long as I can get some color out of them, because they will often get more and more juicy as they sit, you know, on the way we're supposed to store them, horizontally perfect. And I think that's kind of a helpful way to save money, is by making it into something that you can continue to use a little bit. Okay, I'm going to grab my blue here because there were several little bits of blue on some of them. I'm just going to put that around his little head and use the Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to go back in with our light Daffodil Delight. And then now the last thing I have to do is just add my dark smoky slate. Kind of what I like about this is how many different ways you can color it. There we go. And you might put the light pink on the inside for his tongue, just to kind of have even more color. And so you could put it as he's sitting on there, or that he's walking along, just kind of wherever. And let me go ahead and put as much of the leaves as you can stand to watch me put on here, because I think each one, all you need to remember is don't do like I just did. Don't put it right on this fold, because when you close it up, you don't want anything right on the fold. So like these guys, you might want to cut them in the middle and have them swoop down into each of those, just so that you keep them from being folded. But if they do fold, they're going to be fine. it also comes with these gorgeous little flowers. And so they will make, if you're giving it to a girl especially, they'll make it a little more feminine and a little more fun, like that. And then, like I said, I would add a little more white there. I wanted to show you one more thing from the, oh my goodness, it's gone. Hot air balloon, the hot air balloon set. Using the hang in there is perfect for using with our little sloth. So I have this out. This is the lemon lime twist and pool party instead, because you don't have to use the brightest of the blues all the time. Use a pool party and it's still cute. Then I'm gonna do my little trick from before. I'm gonna use the bottom here as my 5.5. And I'm gonna start there. And then I know I have just the right amount of adhesive on it. And line it up down here. And then here. And trim those guys off. Let's add a couple. It doesn't take a ton of pieces. This was my point with this one, that it doesn't take a ton. A profusion looks like a gob of fun, but using just a little bit can be fun too. So, and still you'll have a cute look. So the hang in there, I think I have it here on this one. I'm going to try it with this is kind of a light green. I'm going to try it with a little bit of a darker green. I'm going to try it with the Granny Apple, because I believe that's one of the lighter ones, maybe the Parakeet Party. So I'm going to try it with my Granny Apple. So there's the little hang in there. And I think that is perfect for our little guy. And all we need to do, in my opinion, is add a few leaves here and there. Just kind of like, to just kind of give it a little bit more things going on. And you can put one across the bottom. You could also put some florals in there, depending on if it's for a girl or a guy. And make a really cute and put together little card pretty quickly, honestly. So you can see the hang in there. You can see the Be Wild one, the later gator, and then our original with the toucan Be Mine. And I'll get these put together. I'll try to do it before Valentine's Day, because I know this is an overwhelming amount of gluing that I didn't do, and that could be annoying to some of you. But I really just want to show you how cute this set is. I appreciate you all watching, and I hope that you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.